If you've tried to change your screen time habits and maybe successfully implemented something, but it always stops after a certain period of time, or you have not tried really because you fear long term I will never be able to sustain that habit anyways, then this episode is right for you, because now we talk about the 4 mental strategies that I use to sustain changes in my daily life. So in the previous parts of this series, we've talked a lot about motivation, how to change those habits, how to have tools in order to change your screen time habits. And now, since you've done that, how can you make sure that those habits that you changed are going to be there in the next week, in the next month, in the next year? And for that, I brought you 4 very important key principles. I want to start with the first one, which is remembering your why and setting reminders for that. The second one is seeing things as experiments. Third one is celebrate your successes. And the fourth is keep your expectations in check. In the second part of this series, we talk deeply about figuring out what your why is. Why are you wanting to change this? What are the bad impacts that you get from too much screen time, from not being aware of your needs, maybe not being able to deal with your emotions, maybe not being able to be concentrated for very long? Remembering all those negative effects and remembering what are the things that you strive for. Why do you want a change in your screen time habits? What are you going to do with that time apart from that? What could you learn? What could you give to others? And so my personal why in this regard is, if I am fuzzy in my mind, if I can't think clearly, if I can't concentrate, if I can't learn, or don't have time to do any of those things, then I can't be of best service to my fellow humans, to you, to other people around me. I'm not really fully present. And I feel like that is just really unfortunate. I want to change that. And that was big enough for me of a why to make a cut and to make a difference and actually start an experiment. Coming that now with the second point, I created an experiment based on the book of Digital Minimalism from Carl Newport and Indestructible from Nia Eyal. Based on those 2 things, I created a 30-day experiment for myself. How little screen time can I have with my day job, with the things I'm doing on a daily basis, and cut out everything else. And that experiment was so mind-blowing to me that I wanted to continue and see. And I saw very clearly the effects that it had on my mind. That was just amazing. I can just highly encourage you to start with an experiment. See every next thing you try as an experiment. Maybe I try at first leaving out the phone of the bedroom. Then a second, I maybe put on a schedule when I can access certain apps and when I can't. And then slowly but surely try more and more things and see how that affects you. If it's positive, it's negative, it's difficult, if you like it. And so seeing everything as an experiment, because then you can't fail. You can't fail. This is not about either you're achieving that and are a good person and you're a valuable person in society, or you are not. This is not about this. This is about creating more awareness for the things that are important to you, that you want to change, and build self-efficacy, a fancy word for a belief that you think you can make a change. And that's what I would like you to instill in yourself, that when you want to change something about yourself, you believe you can. And that's one of the single most important things. If you have that, you can make those changes and see all of those things as experiments and possibilities rather than possibilities to fail. Keep that in mind. Experiment with all of these things. And then the third, as soon as you got closer to where you want to go, make sure to celebrate that. I'm not saying once you exceeded the expectation, but rather once you get closer. For example, when your goal is to reduce your screen time to, let's say, just half an hour a day, and you're starting right now at 4 hours a day, then an achievement is if you have an average throughout the whole week of just 3.5 hours. This is a win. This is an improvement. I want you to keep in mind that every little thing is going towards this bank account of progress. Every little thing that you improve is a step in the right direction. And that's what I would like you to see, rather than I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I want you to see every single step that you take in the right direction. And now we get to the fourth, which is a little bit connected to this, is keeping your expectations in check. I mentioned in previous videos a bunch of tools that you can apply and use for your own sake and to improve your situation. Keep that in mind, all of those things, but don't try them all at once. Try them bit by bit. See what works, what doesn't, what it's easy to implement, what's not. And then keep building that momentum. But the main thing I want to remind you of is that whatever happens, it is your expectation that you set on yourself. Because I could also say, if it 100% works, then I'll just reduce my screen time every day by a minute. It will take some time. But at the end of the year, I will be at the perfect amount of time that I want to spend on my phone. If you think long term, if you see the bigger picture, it doesn't matter so much if you do that now in the next 2 weeks and adjust your screen time, or if you do it over a period of the next year. And thinking that long term makes it so much easier and so much lighter that you can't really fail. The idea is not for you to put difficult things in front of you so that you can fail, but instead make yourself a little ladder, so it's going to be easier and easier for you to make this change, but also other areas change, whatever you like. And lastly, I want to leave you with just some words of encouragement, because this journey can be very difficult and discouraging. It's really amazing that you are already listening to this, because that means that you want to improve, and already that step is a huge step in the right direction. So I would love for you to understand that you're right now making a great step. And if you need more resources, if you feel like there's something missing, feel free to also reach out to me in the description below. There's a link to either book a call with me or find another bit more longer and in-depth online course on Inside Timer that I can highly recommend also to start meditating. And if you have any remarks, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this, or if you want to dive even deeper. Thank you so much for listening to this whole episode right now. I wish you best of luck with your phone habits, with your screen time, and hope this will improve soon and sustainable. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.